Hello, good evening, and welcome to this new Restrain webinar about long-term storage advice. My name is Fernando Rubio, and together with John Hutchison, I'm going to be the co-host of this presentation. So, what can you expect in the last part of the storage? As you may know, potato tubers are not a static entity and undergo structural and metabolic changes as we move forward into the storage. At the end, the tubers get prepared for their ultimate purpose, which is become a new plant. Therefore, with the increase of the external temperatures, but also the decrease of certain phytohormones and the activity of certain enzymes in the tubers, we will see an increase in the tuber activity. Therefore, once again, storage monitoring is crucial. With the proper storage monitoring, we will be able to counteract, in some extent, the effects of tuber aging, minimize the weight losses, and keep the sugar levels under control. At the end, a proper storage monitoring is the best way to maximize the marketability of your product and the return of your investment. So, what can you do to preserve the quality of your potatoes? There's no doubt that temperature plays a major role in the tuber stability. Therefore, as we move into the spring and early summer and the external temperatures increase, we will see that both store and crop temperature will become critical. Care must be taken to maintain the crop temperature always below 10 degrees, and if it's possible, we recommend to maintain the crop temperature in the range of 7.5 to 8.5 degrees in the case of processing potatoes. We advise also to maintain the crop temperature as stable as possible and only flash store when absolutely necessary to avoid the increase of the tuber temperatures. At this point, as we move into warmer days, maybe it's a good moment to start considering very early morning flashings so you can make the most of the night temperatures. However, especially in these moments that we are still moving from winter into spring, we are having warm days but very cold days, please pay particular attention to the weather forecasts and see what's going to be the temperature evolution during the following days, so you can adapt your ventilation programs to the weather forecast. At the end, the objective is be mindful not to introduce too cold air that may have an implication in the potato activity. This is the moment where if you have a fridge, you may need to start considering using it, so you can maintain the crop temperature as stable as possible. On the right side of this slide, you can see the clear effect of the increase of the temperature on the tuber respiration. The orange line depicts the temperature evolution, while the blue columns are the CO2 readings. You can see clearly how the CO2 level increases at the same time that the temperature increases, and once the temperature starts to decrease, the CO2 also decreases. So temperature is really important because it will help you not only to maintain the crop stable but also to control the CO2 properly. Therefore, we move to the other side of the coin, is the CO2 management. CO2 management is still of vital importance going into the later part of the storage season. Please always try and keep CO2 below 2500 ppm. Again, as ambient temperatures increase, please target when you flash so you are not introducing warm air in the store and increasing the temperature of your crop. If you have the capacity to cool, remember to turn cooling system off when you flash the store. And if possible, use some low-level ventilation, as CO2 is heavier than air, so removing this will reduce the frequency of whole store flashing. Last but not least important are the ethylene levels in your store. At the end, what we are looking is for a stable environment within the store. Therefore, we know that when we do flush the store, we are also removing the ethylene and we are creating some disturbances in the ethylene concentration in the store. So please only flush when necessary. When you do have to flush and if you are not utilizing the looper control port on the machine, please remove the ethylene delivery pipe from the ethanol drum for the duration of the flush, returning it when the flush cycle is over. Also, please only change programs after discussion with Restrain. The programs can be altered to suit Sprout development and store unloading times, but please always double check with your Restrain representative before doing any change in the equipment. So, what to do next? Obviously, every store is different, every variety is different, every crop is different, every management is different. So, what can you do if you find out that something is not working properly in your store? First of all, no doubt, please contact your Restrain representative if you have any concern of doubt. We also advise to maintain the CO2 and the crop temperature within the recommended parameters. You can also act in advance. Follow the weather forecast to find the most suitable moment for the air exchange in your store. You can also speak with your potato processor and find out which parameters are important in order to achieve the best results. Also, you can start planning your store unloading. Please speak with your Restrain representative as soon as you can provide an expected delivery time. So, what not to do from now on in your storage? You should not make any change in your store management without speaking with a Restrain representative. You should not disconnect the machine or the ethanol supply without speaking with a Restrain representative. You should not make abrupt changes in the crop temperature. And you should not follow any advice provided by any external advisor without speaking with your Restrain representative. Well, thank you very much for your time during this short presentation. Now we can move to the question and answer session where we will be happy to answer any question you may have about the use of Restrain or about what to expect in your store from now on. So once again, thank you very much and see you in the question and answer session.